position, she's going to fall. And the minister with a fall, she's still sleeping.
Honorable member,
She's still, I don't know, what's happening?
that's not a point of order. Take a seat.
No. The minister is sleeping. You can't say that's not a point of order.
Josie,
Are you condoning people sleeping now?
Josie,
We must come for this minister that we pay so much, Minister Maite, she's sleeping in parliament. And with that position, she's going to fall. And the minister with a fall, she's still sleeping.
Honorable member,
She's still, I don't know, what's happening?
that's not a point of order. Take a seat.
No. The minister is sleeping. You can't say that's not a point of order.
Josie,
Are you condoning people sleeping now?
Josie,
We must
This station rules the nation. Truth FM 96.1, the heart and soul of Liberia.
Okay. Good morning, folks. This is the TBS on Truth 96.1, the heart and soul of Liberia. Welcome to Liberia's biggest breakfast show. The love of liberty matters here. Let justice be done to all. 10 minutes up to 8 o'clock. And this morning I woke up with all I retaining on my mind this morning. The girls are not to blame. The girls are not to blame. The struggle of a man begins at birth. One of the mad men will go to bed when his roof is on fire. So the story of the girls are not to blame is about a boy who was born and was foreseen of killing his father and went on to marry his mother, but he wasn't aware of the fact until he ended up killing his father in a bush and marry his own mother. The calamity falls on the village. When he became the king, the girls are not to blame. Good morning, folks. Welcome to the True Breakfast Show. This is Oni Roberts, Marka Davis. From now straight up to 10 o'clock, 7 breakfast. Good morning, Nimbath. Good morning, Grand Kidman County, Grand Judah, Lofa County. Good morning, Mount Gibby, in the midst of all controversies. Good morning to the two familiar faces as we go to the ballot box in 5 days. In common, George, we are good morning. Ambassador Joseph Boycar would like to say good morning in the midst of awe. Count your face. Yes, good morning, Marka. How you doing this morning? Great, 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 great seeing you.
Good morning again. We are here.
Okay.
They return from they return from the motherland.
Just go ahead. I see you still gonna call.
Yeah, they return from the motherland. We are here this morning again to serve our Liberian people. This is what we signed up for, and it's great to be here again on the TBS on Truth 96.1 FM, the heart and soul of Liberia. This is where national unity begins. Let me say good morning to all of our followers across the country, the folks who are following us this morning. Let me begin with Nimba because I just came back from Nimba and realized that a lot of people follow us across Nimba, the entire lower Nimba County. Yes, True FM has a very strong audience in lower Nimba. So let me say good morning to all of you this morning, to our folks in Brown County, Western Liberia, Bombing, Bapolu, and Grand Cape Mount. Good morning to all of you, the folks in Grand Bassa County, the port city of Buchanan. Good morning to all of you this morning. It's great to be here to serve our people. Again, it is our responsibility as people and country to ensure that our country is led in a direction where we can be proud of our country. So every morning we want to hear good news about our country. We want to hear about our citizens making the breakthrough in other parts of the world, and we can be proud of that. So good morning, and it's great for us to be here on the show this morning.
Yes, wonderful Thursday. And I woke up this morning counting the days to the road of election as we go to the ballot box. In 5 days, you'll be making a decision on who's become the next president of the Republic of Liberia. Good morning to all of you listening. This is the TBS, and we're going to have a wonderful edition, trust me, on this Thursday morning. I'm O'Neill Roberts, and of course, Marka Davis. Yes, let's see what we have this morning. Thursday.
Yes, Thursday, 9th November 2023, 5 days to the run-up, as O'Neill mentioned. This morning we'll take the health tip with David Coty for 5 minutes on the TBS. We continue with our non-violence message because we believe that only during peacetime we can develop the country. We cannot develop the country in crisis. We'll look at the factors to be considered in the runoff elections like we did yesterday. And coming up at 8:30 to 9 o'clock prompt this morning, we have the chargé d'affaires of the United States Embassy in Monrovia, Captain Rodriguez, will be our guest on the first segment of the TBS this morning for 30 minutes of interview this morning.
I want you to repeat that. Our first segment guest. Our first segment guest is so special.
Yeah.
The first segment guest on a True Breakfast show this morning.
Yes.
Yes.
So she is the, like I said, the chargé d'affaires of the United States Embassy. She arrived in country on August 4 as the Deputy Chief of Mission. She assumed the title that she's bearing currently because of the absence of an ambassador in the country.
So in the absence of the ambassador, the U.S. ambassador, she is in charge. So, quote unquote, we will be having, Catherine Rodriguez, the U.S. Chargé Affairs, with us this morning. Exclusive, 30 minutes.
Yes, she'll be with us, and we'll talk a lot about the work she's doing in the country, the United States government's involvement in the electoral process and other activities in the country. So, and coming up at 9 o'clock, sports as usual, entertainment commercials on the TBS, 9:15 to 10, Representative-elect Smo Mobile of District 3, Montserrat County, will be our guest on the last segment of the TBS this morning.
You're in the message of Deputy Speaker.
Deputy Speaker. Yes. If your dream doesn't scare you, then
don't run away for it. So
keeping it. Yes, you have to be confident.
Yeah.
And you don't always surprise people with what you think you want to be. Just put it out and go for it. So he's going to be letting a cat out of the bag this morning.
Okay. Yes. Deputy Speaker.
Smo Mobile will be here this morning. He won with a very good margin in District 3. You know, when you win with good margin, no dispute.
Yeah. No
Yeah,
arguing.
not like District 2, Monserrato,
Yeah, too
where
much
Bishop
noise.
Doyen going to
Look,
the court.
interestingly,
Yeah.
Something happened in District 12.
Okay.
Yes. There was this ruling in the absence of the complainant of the case.
Wow.
When Professor Richmond Anderson got on the scene, the hearing officer said, "We finished with the decision in your absence.
Oh.
We'll talk about fantastic." So I hope they don't happen with the
So
Bishop
two things.
They may have to be present.
Either his representation,
No one was there.
his lawyers,
the lawyer was absent. The lawyer absent. The complainant absent.
and then the
magistrate did ruling.
Oh.
Yeah. Then in District 2, in Bishop Doyle the case, well, the hearing officer will hear that he bereaved.
Yeah.
So many deputy, I know.
So what we gather is that they were rescheduled for the 17th. That will be
next week.
Yes, that will be after the runoff. So, but it's dragging. I don't know. The issue is they are demanding recount, and the defending side is saying they won. They don't want recount.
Don't want recount.
So it left with the election commission to make that decision.
Yeah.
And say, well, looking at the merits in the complaint filed, we can do a recount or we can do a recount. So you just have to rule in the matter.
Sure.
If any party that is aggrieved by the ruling can take an appeal.
Yes, you can take an appeal. But those of you who complain, and if you don't satisfy with the Board of Commissioner, the hearing, the legal team, the next place is to go is the Supreme Court. Say no to any form of violence. Exactly. Yes, this is a TBS wonderful lineup, and after you have to have this for our Facebook follower to see the U.S. Ambassador Chargé Affairs and Catherine Rodriguez. Yes, she arrived on August 4th. As Deputy Chief of Mission and assumed the role of Chargé d'Affaires on August 11th.
Exactly.
Yes, so those of you watching on our Facebook Live, she will be our guest this morning. In the midst of all what we'll do, country first. After this event, after November 14, we'll still continue as a country.
Yes. And our call to the key participants in the election, the two candidates going for the presidency, is that you should accept the results. If there's any reason you believe there were issues, you have to take the course of the law, and we cannot afford to go back to the days when we were toting suitcases around here. We can't go back there.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. So let's have health tip coming up 5 minutes with David Ernest Coty. Then we'll come back with our talking points. All right. This is the TBS. We're bringing our health tip with David Ernest Coty right here on Truth FM 96.1, the heart and soul of Liberia. Let's have health tip with David Coty this morning. Good morning, David. You live. Go ahead.
Thank you very much to you both for the opportunity once again. My business here every morning actually is to create awareness and to encourage you to go to the hospital once or twice a year to check your whole system, because you don't know what's happening in there. Too many things are happening in the body. So today, let's talk about the kidneys. As you have always heard from medical doctors, life is in the blood. If you don't know it today. Life is in the blood. So one of the main jobs of the kidney is to clean the blood. There are many jobs the kidney can do. There are two of them in the body. One of them, the major one, is to clean the blood. The kidney separates the waste from the blood and sends it to the bladder. Oh, yes. When it sends it to the bladder, from then on you go to do your PP and this, that. And I told you before, don't ever say you're managing your PP or your urine. When you feel like going to urinate, please do it quickly. Don't say you will manage it until you finish doing what you're doing. No, because there are a lot of diseases in there. The waste are all in there. So you got to go and pee quick, or else you will destroy the walls of the bladder. Now, some of the things that you can see to know that you have a problem with your kidney, for example, you have shortness of breath. You're not breathing properly. You're losing weight. You got poor appetite. You're getting tired every minute. You got blood in the urine, itchy skin, all those kind of things, or difficulty sleeping. Those are things that you can see to know that your kidney is having a problem. And certain things to avoid so that your kidney can't have a problem are, for example, smoking. You got to limit your alcohol intake, and you got to have enough sleep. You remember I told you before, everyone is supposed to sleep for not less than 7 to 8 hours a day. If you don't do so, you will create problem for your health. Now, when your kidneys are not working, there are two of them. When they stop working or when they are damaged, you are in serious trouble. The whole body system will stop. When the kidneys are damaged, they cannot be repaired. Only one thing can be done: kidney transplant. The doctors call it dialysis. Kidney transplant means that they got to put another kidney in your body. And those kidneys are very expensive, thousands of US dollars. And let me tell you, when the kidneys are damaged, you can only live. I repeat that. When the kidneys are damaged, you can only live for a few days or weeks, not months. Only a few days or weeks. Because the kidney is the one that controls the whole system in it, cleaning the blood, the waste, separating the waste and all this kind of thing. All right, that's what I have to say about the kidney. But let me just say this. But remember this. Every time I have to remind you about the previous things that we discussed. Remember this. Always try to laugh for 15 minutes a day. It is good for your soul. Yeah, laugh. The real laughter is about 2 to 3 seconds. When something is really funny, you just laugh, blah, 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 you stop there. But you must force yourself to laugh. Establish a laughing club and laugh for 15 minutes a day. Now, let me tell you what happened. Talking about laughter, let me tell you what happened in my dream last night.
Oh.
Yes, I will tell you what happened in my dream last night.
Okay.
Last night in my dream, I saw myself at the United Nations. And
as what?
Got up and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinguished honor and pleasing duty to invite to the podium His Excellency David Ernest Coty, President of the Republic of Liberia."
Oh, really?
David Coty, President of Liberia. Yes, another. You're my formula one. I'm feeling with you will regret.
Mr. Coty.
Okay. Thank you very much for the time.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Coty, with the health tip here. It's a regular feature on the TBS here on Truth 96.1 FM. Yes, so it is good for us to do this because normally people will have to be reminded. Like I said on yesterday, one of the tips that Mr. Coty gave yesterday that that I had to cue from is the issue of trying to suppress urine. You feel you are busy, you are doing something, you want to finish before you go to
the last time I was watching the Arsenal game.
Yeah, so you see you but they pushing us like they know I won't go outside.
So now you be body or you won't body football at all.
I tell you, the Shakhtar Donetsk in Barcelona.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, after the school they head over y'all.
Yeah.
Yes, but there is actually doing extremely well.
Really disappointed.
So someone said to me, Marka, there is not a medical doctor, but I said, but apart from this, he does a lot of good research. And coming up every morning, I think it's something very important for us.
That's good.
Yes, this is the True Breakfast Show, 96.1 at 8:30 this morning. We'll have the U.S. Embassy, Sergeant Affairs, Catherine Rodriguez will be with us this morning. Yes, we have the team already on the ground.
Okay.
Yes, at 8:30 prompt. 8:30 prompt. She will be with us until 9 o'clock.
Why are you making emphasis?
No, sometimes when meeting have to be here, if you call a meeting, it's starting 5 o'clock. Sometimes that meeting will go at 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
it's a number of things.
So you're making the emphasis.
Yeah, prompt.
Somebody will say, this is not Liberian time.
Yeah, not Liberian time. Like US time we're operating with. It's going to be prompt.
Yeah.
8:30 prompt. Yeah, so so many things happening within the country. And it's good that We as journalists, again, we are there to monitor it, report it, and Liberian go and make the decision. Yes, as you get set to vote, I want to encourage the two political parties, the Coalition for Democratic Change, the Unity Party. Encourage your people, let them turn out to vote. Please. We're saying this so tomorrow you won't have to blame yourself. Encourage your people to vote. Educate them how to vote. 114,000 invalid votes, too high. Too high.
That was too much.
Yes. And on the other hand, you have representative candidates who have taken people, to a farther location to go and register. They voted there. So bringing this to remind you every day. Well, who going at unwood expense, going back for these people to bring them back, to go to vote on Tuesday. So play your card well. And I'm not moved about that Facebook thing you're doing. You post, you get 100,000, 200,000 comments. Well, on the ground, it's a different thing. Our international partners, they are so concerned about the peace.
Yeah.
Keeping the peace is the utmost thing in our country.
Exactly. Yeah, so again, it is very concerning because we believe that if these people who were or who took location to another place to go and register and vote, if they don't have the opportunity to go back, it will affect the turnout for the runoff elections. Representative candidates, senatorial candidates, and presidential, in fact, not presidential specifically, but these legislative candidates took people from different districts to other districts, some far away from their even their county of residence. And this is a problem. Like I said, I just came from Lima a couple of days ago. It is a concern amongst the people there. Where all of the people who register here, we remember during the election day, a lot of people, some of the prisons were crowded, some of the towns were crowded, with strange people who came from different places where they have the opportunity to come back to vote. If they don't have the opportunity to come back to vote, that means the turnout for the runoff will be low. And you see, from the beginning of the voter registration, Olu and I normally caution people against, moving from their place of residence and going to somewhere else to register. We knew that it was going to have some effect on the runoff, because if a representative candidate takes someone from Montserrat, for example, and carry you to Nimba, Bong, Kima, or somewhere, and that person lost the elections, they may not have the resources to transport you back to that locality to vote. And what happens if you also don't have the resources to do that? It means that you will not be able to vote. You see, you disenfranchise yourself right there. So it is not right. Let's just do as the election law says. Register to where you live and vote. Well, we have passed that level. What we can say right now is that in order for these people to exercise their constitutional rights, I think there should be some modality worked out by the parties. The initiative being taken by those candidates who carry these people to be able to find transportation so they can go and exercise their right. You see what's going to happen. You will make a choice between the two candidates going for the runoff. For example, you could be a supporter of the incumbent George Weah. You could be a supporter of the former Vice President Boakai, but your inability to make it to where you register because you register out of where you live, it means that your support will be in vain. Your vote will not matter. Your voice will not be heard in the runoff election, which is the very important part of the elections, because as the election law says and the Constitution says, you have to, or a candidate have to win 50% plus one vote, and the 20 candidates that went into the race, none of them could accumulate that amount of votes. So the second round becomes very important. So any attempt for you to not participate, it will be like you didn't participate in the elections.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the total number of registrants, those who register for the voting process, 2,471,617. So we had less amount of votes that came in, all right? 1,900,000. and up to present as I speak, right? These are all voting cards. All right. Every morning we announce to you. So please, your expectations should not be high of whosoever going to win this election. So some of you have misplaced, your voting cards already. So want to encourage you, the two political parties encourage your people, to turn out for a massive vote for you on November 14th.
Yes. We have to encourage the people to come out. Again, let's go to we are talking about some of the factors, that will be considered during this runoff. People, firstly, we have to strive to have the turnout. We have to have more persons voting in the elections. So the first round, I think the turnout was 78.86%. That was pretty well good. Okay, not that bad. That we'll say, not that bad. We are hoping that if we can have at least the same 78% or 70, because it's obvious that we may not get the same turnout in the second round. The factors we just listed, one of them, the issue of trucking people from where they live to other places. If the candidate who took you to that locality does not have the means again to carry you back, and you also don't have the means, that means that you will not be able to participate. So that these are some of the factors. I also talk about voters apathy, people getting tired of the process. That could be another factor. So we want to encourage people who will be saying, for example, the two parties have been the two leading parties in the last 18 years, for example. So maybe some will say there's no difference, so I don't want to go to vote. But I want to encourage all of you to participate. Go and vote. It is important. It is your constitutional right. We want to caution and admonish our countrymen and women to ensure that we engage this process with the highest level of civility, with the highest level of patriotism, with the highest level of nationalism. We must do all we can to ensure that this process is peaceful. You understand that the first round of vote, Liberians went to the polls. They stood in the lines. God did great that day to give us sunny weather in most part of the country, and they voted. The only thing you see that is normal when there are huge number of people will be fighting in the queues and shaking and all of that. So there was no major incident of violence reported, especially on voting day, especially on election day. So we want to call on Liberians to maintain the same level of involvement, to maintain the same level of composure, the same way people behaved during the first round of vote. I think it was important. You got a lot of commendations from partners around the world, other countries, especially praising the way Liberians conducted themselves on election day. So we want the same to be repeated on November 14th. That is next Tuesday. This is our country. If you see other people like the United Nations, for example, you see the European Union, you see ECOWAS, you see the African Union, you see the United States government, supporting this process, supporting us as a country. Then what more about us? What can we do? What can we do even more to ensure that the support these people are giving the country is not going in vain? Okay, we know this is election time. The culture of election is about, claims and counterclaims. There will be misinformation. There will be disinformation. There will be false news, fake news being spread just for people to gain some kind of favor and number of votes. So we want to say that despite all of these things, the country's interest must be first. The country's interest must be first. We cannot place even the incumbent president, we have interest above the interest of the country. We cannot place the interest of the former vice president Boakai ahead of the interest of the country, because no matter what we do, we're doing it for a safe and peaceful country. We say we are looking for good leader. If we are looking for good leader, it means we are looking for good country. So why were we in the process of looking for a good leader that would drive a better country, result of violence? No. So we want to appreciate Liberians for the way they conducted themselves during the first round of vote, and we encourage them to do the same. Do not say, oh yes, the two parties always going to run off since 2005. It doesn't matter. uh, like someone said, the process, governance is a process. Governance is a process. It's not an event. So there will be mistakes in policies. There will be mistakes in programs. There will be, some, missed routes and all of that. But as time goes back, things will fall in place. Today, you can see a number of young people who are pursuing education in the country. You see the number of intellectuals, smart young people who are focused on building the capacities in order to contribute to the growth of the country. We are thinking about a country where we can have foreign direct investment. We can see companies and concessions coming into the country to open up the job market for a number of our people. So we should be looking up to a leadership where we will see, for example, the establishment of technical vocational institutions, if not colleges across, if we may even say the districts or counties or major cities across the country, so that the young people can have access to technical vocational education, so that in the future, when there are opportunities, we will not have concessionaires going to our neighboring countries to bring the workforce in the country. So these are some of the things we're talking about as a people, as a media institution. We are committed to ensuring that we preach the message of peace, that Liberians will calculate, they will calculate from the past, they will calculate from where we are now, and they will calculate from the future they hope to see. So these calculations will guide you in electing someone during the runoff that you feel can deliver on some of the key issues that are facing the country. Okay, we still need to expand the issue of electricity across the country. There are other countries that are enjoying electricity, and it's almost like a necessity, which it is. So people without electricity is a kind of backward thing for us. They are still part of Liberia where there are no electricity. Even some part of Montserrat County where there are no electricity. We still need government policies on supplying pipe-borne water across homes in the country so that we cannot suffer waterborne diseases. These are all the things that we want from a government that will lead the country. We still have issues to do with reform in the judiciary system. We've said that even some of the candidates who lost the first round of votes, they mentioned that as some of the criteria based on which they will support a particular candidate in the runoff, that there should be judicial reform. There should be an independent judiciary that will see no interference from the executive or the legislature. So these are some of the things Liberians should be calculating as we go towards the runoff election. We should be talking about, for example, a country where the rule of law is the order of the day. Look, the rule of law is like the oil that you use to eat democracy. It is the rule of law that makes a democracy to thrive. So a country without a rule of law, it means that peace will be even far away from such a country. So these are policy issues that we Liberians and even the politicians who are leading these campaigns will be preaching to the Liberian people on what kind of decision to make. It is not about personal issues. It should not be about people's personality, even though when you are in politics and seeking public office, your privacy is almost exposed. So people will talk about them. However, let's look at the cardinal policy issues about the country as we make these decisions. Let's look at the capacity of government institutions, ministries, agencies, and commissions. Are they delivering on their mandates as per the act establishing them? Are they effective? Are they proactive in delivering public service, for example? So these are some of the issues we are talking about. Let's look at the capacity of the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation. Let's look at the capacity issue of the Liberia Electricity Corporation. Okay, these are institutions we should talk about. Let's look at healthcare, for example. Today, we are still getting prescriptions from our major health facilities in the country, including the John F. Kennedy Medical Center. I'm not saying they say. I've been at JFK several times with family members. I've received prescription. I've gone to G2 pharmacies to buy drugs. If it is happening in the capital of Monrovia, then what will be happening in Saclipi? What will be happening in Ban? What will be happening in Kinjo? What will be happening in Weju, in other places? What will be happening in Toalstown, Grand Julia County, for example? So these are issues that we must consider as we go to the runoff. It is not just about being a part of a political party. It is not just about being a part of a political party. Look, you can even be a part of a political party, and people say political loyalty and discipline, fine, but you can be a supporter of a particular political party and vote a candidate from another party if you are a true patriot, believing in a policy statement and plans compared to that of your own party. So I know that the issue of election is pure politics, but I want us to do the policy side of the politics because it is important. Ordinary politics cannot develop a country, because ordinary politics is where you just see the politicians attacking each other on social media, in the mainstream media, in fact, engaging in violence and all of that's just the mere politics. But the politics of idea is the politics of policies. So these are the kind of policies or politics we want Liberians to get involved with. Because right now we got a lot of tax. Liberia is still behind in a number of areas. Even in infrastructure development, we are still behind. We are still building 2-lane roads when other countries are expanding their road networks to 8 and 6 lanes. We are still struggling to grow our budget to reach the billion, for example. We are still in 700 million. There are still issues to resolve. We are still having issues of our local business. Empowerment of the local business is another policy issue that we should be viewing the platform of these two candidates going to the runoff elections. Our local businesses, Liberian-owned businesses, are crying. Access to capital is a problem. They have said that over and over. What are policies towards improving or addressing issues of such? These are the politics of policy that I'm talking about. It normally don't have to do with bringing out a crowd and blowing the vuvuzela that was introduced during the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. It's not just about blowing the vuvuzela. It's not only about wearing the t-shirts and the berets and the caps. What are we looking for in our leaders? What are sectors that need to be addressed? Business people are importing their goods through our neighboring borders or ports instead of coming to our own port. What are the issues? What policy can we institute to ensure that our ports are business friendly? You and I can recall there were families in the States and other places that maybe on a quality basis they used to send 24 container or sometimes 44 container with material just for family down here. And these things used to impact family and impact livelihoods of the people. But it is you can recall that it is even difficult for a family now in the United States to say, let me send container to my family down in Liberia. These are some of the issues we should be addressing. What policy measures can we take to ensure that we have a business-friendly port, a business-friendly port that our people will be free to bring goods in country? Because if you bring goods in country, the import tax alone, almost nearing the capital investing in the business, what kind of sale will you make at the end of the day? And considering the purchasing power of majority of the population in the country. So that's why you see a number of businesses are struggling. So these are policy issues that we should be calculating when we are going to vote. When we are going to vote, we should be thinking about policies on expansion of our infrastructure development. Let's look at the Central Monrovia. Let's look at the sewage system, for example. These are the issues that should be addressed. You and I know why it looks like in Monrovia. So these elections, it is this one, the runoff, is very critical. It's very critical. Like the last time I was talking to people who were running for the legislative seats. Now some of you have been declared winners and there is no case, no dispute about your victory. You should be calculating what kind of 55th legislature we intend to have. What kind of legislature we intend to have when for example, the 53rd, the 54th, even the 52nd legislature, over the time, critics have described it as rubber stamp. Do we still want a legislature that people will be describing as rubber stamp legislature? A legislature that will be controlled consistently by the executive? These are the kind of calculations we should be making as a people. Other countries are going far ahead. We are not saying there are not issues in other countries. There are issues in other countries. Other countries are grappled with the issue of their economy. They have issues there. Electricity issues, yes. Some infrastructure issues, yeah, they have. But we are far behind. We need to double up. We need to double up in chasing our neighbors in development. There are modern cities emerging in other countries. But we are still here with our one old Monrovia. Monrovia is the administrative and commercial city of Liberia. Administrative and commercial. In other countries, people have separated their administrative cities from their commercial cities. But we still have this one Monrovia as administrative city and commercial city. So these are policy issues that we should be considering as we go to these elections. It is not about who is black, who is white, who is wearing green, and who is wearing blue. It's not about who is wearing cap and who is wearing beret. Even the leaders coming to these elections should come with the open mind of patriotism. It should not be about, it was their time. We want to take it too so it can be our time. Or they did 12 years. It's our time to do our own 12 years and we'll do it however we want to do it. You must come to the leadership with vision of expanding your country, expanding the economy, expanding the infrastructure of your country, expanding or building the human capital of your citizens. We are still here. We have concessions in the country. And when you go there, you see people who are doing work that are actually meant for the locals. You have a chef as a foreigner. You have a driver as a foreigner. We have concessions in the country that these things are happening. Does that raise concern among our leaders that no, we cannot have a driver for a company coming from as far as Turkey, for example, coming from as far as Germany, for example, when we have young people in the country that we can build their capacity to do this work and their income will impact their family and the country because they will absolutely invest it here. These are issues that we should be addressing. And giving job to people after election. It should not just purely be because you are part of my party. You are part of... Look, in other countries, people are looking for their best. People are looking for their best. And after these elections, the person who is going to win, after inauguration, or even before inauguration, scout for your best. Scout for the best. There are very good Liberians who are not in any political party, who are not in mainstream politics. Some are in the private sector. They are experts. They can deliver on public service. Found these people and form a government of inclusion that will together work to develop the country. Reconciliation should be the hallmark of the winner of the upcoming runoff election. Liberia, I can say emphatically that Liberia is divided, hugely divided. The country, currently, the country is hugely divided. I will tell you for a fact, from community to community, from district to district, from county to county. I just came from Nimba. I know the arguments the young people are doing. You see the division in their tune along political lines. Along political lines. So let no one tell you lie. Reconciliation will be key after this election. Reconciliation will be key after this election. Because we want people, we've said consistent, we've cautioned people that do not allow this election, don't be too bitter about this competition. This competition is an event, it will pass. Don't be too bitter about it. It's just about competition of ideas, and Liberians will decide who can deliver on their promise, who they can entrust with the power, the will of the people. And let me say to the two candidates going for the runoff, Liberia is for all Liberians. And as the National Elections Commission qualified the both of you to run like all the other 20 candidates, you should understand that it is not because it is your entitlement for which you reach the second round of votes. No. It is because the majority of the Liberian people voted for the two parties overwhelmingly. And as per the Constitution, which states that before a candidate is declared winner of the presidential election, he or she should win 50% or must win 50% plus one of the vote. So considering that the two of you were the full runners in the elections, and you even though none of you got the 50% plus one, you were qualified to go to the runoff. It is the Liberian people's business to look amongst the two of you, and the will of the majority must be announced by the National Election Commission, as we are all contributing to ensuring that we have a peaceful election, and thereafter we can reconcile our country. Nobody should lie to you. This country is hugely divided along political lines, especially in the midst of these elections. So we have our guest here already. When I get signal from O'Neill, then we will cross over to them this morning. Like we indicated in our lineup, we have the Charge d'Affaires of the United States Embassy in Monrovia, Madam Catherine Rodriguez here this morning with us. And once I get the signal from O'Neill Roberts, we'll be linking up with her this morning, a diplomat now in Liberia. So yes, we're here this morning. O'Neill?
Yes, thank you so much, Marka. Again, I want to say thanks so much for your patience. This is the True Breakfast Show 96.1. Thanks to the folks in Nima County relaying us Truth 96.9.
My name is O'Neill, and of course, Marka together. It's a pleasure to have Madam Catherine Rodriguez from U.S. Embassy. Catherine Rodriguez is a career member of Foreign Service. She arrived in Monrovia on August 4th as a Deputy Chief of Mission, and assumed the role of Charge d'Affaires on August 11th. It's a privilege to have you live with us. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for
How are you doing this morning?
How are you doing this morning?
Fabulous.
Thank you.
I'm happy to be here.
Great. So let's have an message from the U.S. Embassy.
Yes, thank you.
Good morning to everyone
across Liberia.
Last month,
I spoke to you about Liberia's national elections and the importance of exercising your right to vote, and to do so freely, fairly, and peacefully. Today, I want to congratulate the people of Liberia on a peaceful execution of elections on October 10th. Not only have I read reports from observers and local organizations that recognize the broad participation of Liberians and the generally peaceful atmosphere at polling stations across the country, but I saw this for myself when I went out to observe multiple polling stations in District 7. The impressive high turnout of voters shows your determination and dedication to the future of your beloved country. Next week, you will have the opportunities to select your president and vice president for the next 6 years in the runoff election. More than ever, it's important to use your voice and your vote to make the right choice for you and your family's future. Continue to talk to your friends and family about the future of your beloved Liberia. Think about what you want for this country in the next 6 years and into the future. Listen to what the candidates are offering. Your right to vote is the most valuable tool a democracy offers for charting your family's destiny. Don't squander that very important right by not voting. Go vote. Make your voice heard again through the ballot box. In an effort to help Liberia keep elections free, fair, and peaceful, the U.S. and members of the international community will be observing these elections at polling at tabulation centers. The United States Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, announced before the last round of elections that we will impose visa sanctions on anyone who undermines Liberia's democratic process. For elections to be free and fair, they must be peaceful. That is why we always condemn violence and stop the spread of rumors and disinformation. The best way to do that is to not amplify hateful messages, not retweeting, not reposting, publishing on social media or other platforms what perpetrators of violence say or do. Above all, reject calls for violence and remember the best way to resolve your differences is peacefully through the ballot box. To ensure another peaceful round of elections, we urge the government of Liberia to make sure the Joint Security Task Force is provided its full budget. Let me repeat this again. We urge the government of Liberia to make sure the Joint Security Task Force is provided its full budget. This is needed to secure the safety of the voters, polling staff, and the general public. The U.S. continues to look at the National Elections Commission as the electoral authority and for the official results of this election. It is important that people get their information from official sources. As your oldest and one of your closest international partners, we wish Liberia and all its citizens free, fair, and peaceful elections.
Well, that's great. I mean, that's great. That's great. That's great. And again, I'd like to say welcome. So let's go to it. On October 10th, we had our general elections. How would you grade the overall performance of the National Elections Commission for fire handling in the elections?
No, I think the National Elections Commission did a very good job. They got ballots out. There were opportunities for improvement, but they have done so in this round. I will say the turnout for Liberians was beyond impressive. Actually, a higher turnout than what we have in the United States. You had close to 79% of the public come out and vote. So I applaud you for exercising your right to vote.
Great. So the election is now narrowed down to 2 choices, which makes it very easier for voters to decide. Now, do you think this will help reduce the number of invalid votes, over 114,000 invalid votes, with just 2 choices?
Well, I know that the USAID, in coordination with the National Elections Commission, has done a lot of voter education. Again, we've had a 5-year program through with USAID to improve voter education. I will say, having looked at the ballot the last time and having seen a sample, 20 little boxes, it's going to be a lot easier. And I know that the NEC has also told people to do your X's where you should, or your check mark. Really take the time. Don't deface the ballots. This is your opportunity to vote. And you should do so by having your voice heard and making the appropriate mark on the ballot box and not drawing anything on the candidate you make.
Yeah, well, great. So when you visited these places during the first round of the elections,
and saw the huge turnout. What was the impression you got, and do you expect the same turnout within just 5 days to the runoff?
Well, I'm here today to ensure that there is a great turnout. It is your right to vote. It's the most important thing that you have, is to go out there and exercise that right. I am hopeful that we will see the same turnout, because this is a very important election. This is the future of Liberia, and really that future lies in the hands of your viewers. Go out and vote.
No, well, and so let me go to Secretary of State Anthony Blinken. You repeated the announcement by the U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, saying that you impose visa restrictions on anyone who undermines Liberia's democracy. What are those you're talking about here?
We are reviewing everything that is going on. This will apply to individuals involved in the manipulation of voter results, intimidation of voters, and or civil society organizations, including through physical violence and other activities that undermine the Liberians' democratic process. These individuals may be found ineligible for U.S. visas, along with their family members, subject to this policy. So this is a big initiative on our part, because as your oldest and longest partner, we want to see the democratic process continue in Liberia.
Wow. I mean, this is a follow-up question before my colleague can come in. You said visa restriction. I just want to hold people accountable. Do you also plan to impose sanctions as well, apart from visa restriction?
At this moment, we are solely focused on ensuring that the elections are free, fair, and peaceful. And based on how that goes, we will review all the items in our toolkit, whether it's visa sanctions, visa restrictions, sanctions, etc. But at this time, our singular focus at the embassy is to ensure that your elections are free, fair, and peaceful. This is why we have a number of observers that we are funding through USAID. We are funding ESA. We are funding ECC along with the Irish government. We ourselves at the embassy will be going out through various counties throughout the country to observe. So that is our singular focus. Just like the Liberian people, we want Liberia to have a democratic process that is free, fair, and peaceful.
Just like the U.S. Great. Yeah, so my colleague can come in.
Yeah, so how involved has the U.S. been in ensuring that the electoral process is free, fair, and credible in collaboration with the National Elections Commission so far?
We have been doing a lot of work with the National Elections Commission. Our USAID colleagues have been working with them for the last 2 years. We also have deployed observers through the last election. We have funded a 5-year program called the Election and Democracy Activity. This is to provide technical assistance to the NEC, publish voter materials. We've distributed close to 60,000 civic education textbooks. We have provided technical assistance. We are definitely hand in hand with you to ensure that these are free, fair, and peaceful elections.
Okay, and also looking at the issue of funding for the joint security, how concerned are you since the election is just a few days away?
I am very concerned. I think that in order for there to be a peaceful election, you need to have police present at the polling stations. And this is one of the reasons why I came out today. I want to urge the Liberian government, please fund your joint security force. Give them what they have asked for.
Give them what they asked for. I mean, interesting one. So, what is the expectation like for the U.S. government about the outcome of the runoff election? I mean, Liberians so concerned. We look forward to our ally. What's the expectation like?
Our expectation is that, one, people will go out and exercise their right to vote. And when they're exercising their right to vote, they are looking at how Liberia will be in the future based on that vote. We want the same thing the Liberian people want. We want a democratic process. We want it to be free, fair, and peaceful. And more importantly, we want Liberia to be the shining star of West Africa.
That's a beautiful one.
Okay, that's what is the most singular message you want to leave with Liberians as they go to the polls? Looking at your own involvement in the process of the vision missions and all of that.
The message I have for the Liberians is the following. You have the two most important things that can make this election happen. You have your voice and you have your vote. And I beg you to exercise your right to vote. Go out to the polls. Figure out which of the candidates has your best interest in mind and exercise that right. That is my message for the Liberian people. Whatever is decided, we will support. I do ask whoever does not win, the candidate and his supporters, I beg you, for the sake of the Liberian people, accept those results. If you have an issue with those results, take it to the courts. Do not take it to the streets.
Wow, that's a beautiful one. Like, and I'm going to tell my colleague, I say, well, the politicians in the U.S., after conceding defeat, will say, God bless America and make the country great.
That is
no one is above the country.
Look, that is what we want for Liberia. We want this to be a great country, and that happens by exercising your right, knowing what the issues are, and figuring out how those issues will affect your family and you yourself. Because the future is in your hands.
Wow.
We are here to support you, but the future is up to you.
That's a beautiful one. Yes, let's take few public reaction. We normally don't do this since the general elections, but we can take 3 or 4 calls. Let's take to the issue being discussed as we go to the ballot box in 5 days. Only to what we discuss with our guests this morning. Catching Rodriguez from the U.S. Embassy. Let's pick the lines up 0777-405-017. Marka, you announced.
0770202579 is the other line, but I have a caller already.
Yes, let's take Derek Kuti is here already. Yes, let's see. Former lawmaker. Yes, Ernest Kuti. Just good morning.
Thank you very much, and good morning to your guest. But Ambassador, congratulations to you on your comments. But let me just say something. I want to thank the United States government through you for always standing by Nigeria. You know, sometimes when I hear people saying the American people are meddling into our affairs, I just laugh and I guess when I hear that. When you are spending billions of dollars on this country, they don't meddling. But when you try to straighten us up, then you are meddling. This is total nonsense. I want to let me just thank you again. You have spent money on this country, billions, just in a very short period. I think we'll continue to pray for you, but not to always help us by giving us money, but to help us help ourselves. And I want to thank you for your advice to the Liberian people. Please go forward. That's the only way you can change the situation. I'm not going to talk too much because the other callers, they're taking only a few calls. But I want to say thank you to America through you for always standing by Liberia. You are not meddling anything. You are advising us to do the right, because the bad thing is that whenever we get into trouble, the first thing we do is to run to America. And it is you who has spent billions again to stop us from killing ourselves. So thank you once again.
Thank you.
Thank
you, David. I'll pick one more call, then back. I'll take 2 from his end. Amara for Finance District 12. Good morning.
Good morning, O'Neill.
Morning.
Good morning, Marka. My name is Amara M. Fofana, and I'm phoning from the population township of Ghana, electoral district number 12. O'Neill, honestly speaking, my takeaway on your guest deliberation this morning is that let the joint security have what they ask for to be able to do their job properly during this election. That's my takeaway. I want to thank you, and I want to say thanks to the Americans for actually keeping eyes on our election that should be free, fair, and peaceful. That's my second takeaway. Thank you so kindly.
All
Okay,
right.
yes.
Yes, Marka, go ahead.
Let me take this caller. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for taking my call. This is Mr. McKay from District Number 1, Magibi County. I'd like to say thank you to the attaché in studio. And I got a question to ask you with the sanctioned individuals that were part of this government before.
Let's take to the issue being discussed, Marka.
Is there any particular follow-up that the United States is going to do referencing they're running in Liberia and winning. Thank you for taking my call.
Okay, let me take this one. Good morning.
Marka, good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. This is Pascal Davis, and let me say thanks to the ambassador. Just two questions quickly. With all that the U.S. government assessing is about the peace, how do you feel as ambassador or as an out of the U.S. when people are going to elections and announcing results of elections prior to the next doing that? Is it not? What do you also make of those who are making comments? People who are saying if you don't win, they're going to end the country. It's going to be a disaster for the country. Are these statements not scary? What is the U.S. government stance on that? Let me respond to this question. Thank you,
Okay.
Marka, for the opportunity.
So just one more call, then we'll go back to our guest. Just one more call. Marka, if you get a call, you can pick it up. If no,
Yes.
Okay.
I will have to take this one call. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And let me say good morning to your studio guest. She said, and some of us, they have been our worry when it comes to the electoral activities and that of the proceeding. Thank God, our big guy Allah has spoken that if anybody is violent, there will be visa restriction. And the issue about session again, I think it should be attached to that of the visa restriction when it comes to anyone that will be a cause of putting people in the street, electoral violence, hate campaign messages. These are all issues we have been flagging. So you're and we look up to see more action from them if anybody comes in violation of any of the activities that will carry like back to the dark days that we some of us are against. Thanks for providing the opportunity to speak on.
all right. Thanks to the callers. Yes, listen up to the callers. These are people who constraints listen to you every now and then, follow you back to back.
Let me just address some of the highlights of the questions that we got. I'm here today because the U.S. government, we do not want to see violence at all. Nobody wants to go back to those horrible days that many Liberians remember. And while they don't want to forget, they don't want to see repeated. So my call here is exercise your right to vote, do it peacefully, but once the results are out there and given by the neck, the loser and their supporters accept those results. If you have an issue, take it to the courts. Don't take it to the streets. It is not in the best interest of the party, the winning party, but more importantly, the Liberian people. As for the question of the sanctions, Liberia is a sovereign country. GLOMAG sanctions that have been placed on a number of candidates that now have won their elections. This is an issue for the government of Liberia to decide. It is a sovereign nation. We, as has been reiterated by myself and by Deputy Assistant Secretary, we are disappointed that the Liberian government did not take any formal action against these people, but that is the decision of the Liberian government and more importantly of the Liberian people. So we have given you a tool. It's up to you what you want to do with it.
Well, it's up to you. That's how you want to do it. Great. So just before we close up in 5 minutes from now, right after the election, you officially posted on your social media page, you termed the election as impressive, massive turnout.
Yes. Having gone and seen many of the pollings, I mean, people were lined up at 6 o'clock in the morning because they want to exercise their vote. There are, it was great to see all the young people working at the NAC, from the NAC out there, young people as polling, as party agents, young people as observers. People want to see results. They want the democratic tradition in Liberia to continue. And I think the turnout that occurred on the 10th is testament to People want democracy and they want it to continue and they want it to be peaceful. They do not want to go back to a time, the dark history of Liberia.
Yes, you talk about protecting the votes. What do you intend to play in helping to protect the votes?
We have been working with the NEC. We have people that will be observing. We have international observers at polling stations. We will have them at the tallying center. I can tell you myself, I was at the tallying center twice. I had people there from the embassy watching the whole process. I mean, every vote is important, and having at the tallying center, people were fighting for every vote. And I suspect that on this runoff, those arguments, while heated and resolved peacefully at the tallying center, will continue. But every vote matters, and this is why I'm here today. Go and exercise your vote, because it does matter, and your opinion does matter on what's going to happen for the future of your country.
Beautiful. Yeah, so as you close up, parting comments, maybe in 2 minutes, in terms of non-violence, as we go to the ballot box in 5 days, as you close up in the non-violence message to Liberians listening out to you. The great people of America is telling us whoever wins the election should be the decision of Liberian people. Liberian people vote this way. The two presidential candidates should accept whatever result that comes out from the November 14 runoff. Yeah, so as you close up in your party,
I would wait for official results from the NEC. Remember, people have to win this by majority. So if the vote is they've only counted 1%, I think it's a little premature to announce a winner at a 1% vote. You have to wait till NEC makes these announcements. Do not take to the streets. There is nothing that violence is going to solve. If you have an issue, this is where you read up about what your candidates are going to provide for the country, how it affects you and your family, the future for the next 6 years. That's how you figure out what is the best for your country, by exercising your right to vote, not taking to the streets. The streets are not going to solve anything. Voting will.
Wow, that's a beautiful one. And of course, I'm going to follow up this message until November 14th. Thank you so much. The voice of Catherine Rodriguez, Sachet Affairs from the U.S. Embassy, Liberia. Is great having you. We look forward to you going back and forth as we go through these elections.
I look forward to coming back. Thank you for taking the time and making space for me this morning. And again, to the Liberians across the nation listening, please, from your oldest partner, the U.S. government, the United States, from the United States people to the Liberian people, exercise your right to vote. You've earned it, keep it, sustain it, use it.
Beautiful. Keep it, you earn it, and use it well. Let's get our break. My name is O'Neill. We'll come back and bring you sports right here on the Breakfast Show. Don't go away.
Wakufado reported that instead of 2 year cuts in the 49th and 81st innings, doing an orange first division match with Leicester FC at the Sports Complex participation on 19 October. The run data which have been corrected impacted the standings and suspensions of players in the CMS. The leadership of the Sports Writers Association of Liberia has appointed an ad hoc election committee to conduct its December 2023 elective Congress. The decision, according to SWA, is inconsonant with Article 6, Sections 3 and 4 of the revised SWA's Constitution. Section 3 states the President, in consultation with the leadership, shall appoint a Congress committee and an ad hoc election committee for elective Congress no later than 30 days to the sitting of Congress. Section 4 states that Congress documents shall be later than 15 days to the Congress. The committee is chaired by Milton Yoko, with former Reporters Association of Liberia President Madam Cecilia Clark as co-chair. Other members are Walter Cassell, the secretary, Jerome Wade member, Louis Kono, another member. The leadership also set up a Congress committee chaired by journalist Liva Sumpon of the Data Observers. Other members are Momo Sion, co-chair, John Texas, secretary, Maran Gapla, member, Brooks, another member. The our election committee has therefore been mandated to hold the election no later than December 9, 2023. The SWAT leadership also urged the committee to organize a free, fair, transparent, and peaceful elections. Mohamed Salah's response to the Israel-Gaza conflict should set the tone for sport moving forward, according to a former sports PR agent and academic. The Labour Party Egypt forward called for world leaders to come together to prevent further slaughter of innocent souls in the wake of a fatal blast at Gaza City Hospital last month. The 31-year-old is one of many athletes with a high-profile social media account to comment on the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas, which is designated a terrorist organization by the governments of both Britain and the United States. The current conflict came after Hamas gunmen launched an unprecedented assault on Israel from the Gaza Strip on 7 October, killing more than 1,400 people, with the Israel Defense Forces carrying out retaliatory strikes on Gaza since, resulting in over 10,000 deaths, according to the health ministry in the Hamas-controlled enclave. Sarah is an example of someone who was under severe pressure to take sides because of his nationality. And Billy, now a senior lecturer in sports journalism at Staffordshire University, told the BBC Sport Africa. Finally, a Palestine has received a 3-year ban from football for racially abusing Tottenham and South Korea forward Son Heung-min. Robert Garland pleaded guilty to racially aggravated harassment in August after shouting and gesturing towards Son Heung-min. He was initially sentenced to 60 hours of unpaid work and fined €1,284. However, Spurs and Metropolitan Police appealed to the UK Football Policing Unit over the sentence. The Metropolitan Police, supported by the club, approached the UK Football Policing Unit to seek an appeal against the sentence, and as a direct result, the court issued the supporter with a 3-year football banning order, Tottenham said in a statement on Wednesday. Garland, 44, made the racial gesture after Son was substituted in the 89th minute during Tottenham's 1-0 win over Crystal Palace on 6 May 2023. Son told the police that he did nothing to be targeted with this horrible racist and discriminatory behavior, according to the Crown Prosecution Service. Kevin Christian from the CPS added, this case shows that hate crime at football would not be tolerated. That's all from our sports desk.
Well, thanks to Naomi Tapia for bringing us sports on the Truth Broadcast, Children Truth 96.1 FM. It is a regular feature here on the program with continual commercial here to bring you a bit of entertainment while we are with the last segment guest this morning, Representative Elect Smo Mobile District 3, Montserrado County.
Starting today, why not have a little more fun? Why not use money this easily? Why not get even closer to family? Why not work how you've always wanted? Fun, money, family, work. No network keeps you connected to it all, quite like Orange. It's all about what matters to you. Orange. Starting today, why not have a little more fun? Why not use money this easily? Why not get even closer to family? Why not work how you've always wanted? Fun, money, family, work. No network keeps you connected to it all, quite like Orange. It's all about what matters to you. Orange. Starting today. Why not have a little more fun? Why not use money this easily? Why not get even closer to family? Why not work how you've always wanted? Fun, money, family, work. No network keeps you connected to it all, quite like Orange. It's all about what matters to you. Orange. Starting today. Why not have a little more fun? Why not use money this easily? Why not get even closer to family? Why not work how you've always wanted? Fun, money, family, work. No network keeps you connected to it all, quite like Orange. It's all about what matters to you. Orange. Starting today. Why not have a little more fun? Why not use money this easily? Why not get even closer to family? Why not work how you've always wanted? Fun, money, family, work. No network keeps you connected to it all, quite like Orange. It's all about what matters to you. Orange. Starting today. Why not have a little more fun? Why not use money this easily? Why not get even closer to family? Why not work how you've always wanted? Fun, money, family, work. No network keeps you connected to it all, quite like Orange. It's all about what matters to you. Orange. Starting today.
And so I'm doing a replay of this song. It's a beautiful piece here by Gizino. Coming up shortly, we'll have Small Morba, representative elect district number 3, Montserrado County. Hey, my friend and brother William Johnson. The CEO and proprietor of Benita Sons Guest House in Saclipia City, Nimba County. And I guess you're following the show this morning. And the director of the technical department here at the RCR, Mr. Cyprian Collin Nimba County. Yeah, what the man? Cyprian loves Nimba. The only thing I didn't see Cyprian doing when I went to Saclipia for a couple of days, I really didn't hear him speaking Mano or the Man dialect. But the man knows all the corners in Saclipia. When the man enters the south, before you look, he's coming from the west. And good morning to you, Sheikh, as well. And thanks to the team there, Mr. Peter Toby, the entire team there at True FM Nimba on Saclay Pier. Thank you for the great work you guys are doing over there, always relaying our major programs here, including the TBS on Truth 96.1 FM. And all the people across Nimba are following the TBS this morning, a majority of the radio listeners. And I can tell you for a fact. And look, let me if you have the opportunity to spend a night in Saclay, PA, I think I can assure you that you can find a home away from home at the Benita Sons guest house directly opposite the Johnny Walker High School, Tapeta parking in Saclay, PA City. Yes, I spent a week there. That place is great. Yeah. And thanks to the CEO of the area, William Johnson, he's doing a pretty great job there in the area there. The day Augustine Sai and I go to Saclay, we will sleep at Benita's son's guest house. I know Augustine likes good things, including right after the runoff elections, Councillor Tiawan Gonglo will sponsor a trip for Oni Roberts and I. We will spend 2 days in Ganta, another 2 days in Saclay, PA. Oni knows Saclay, PA. So 2 days in Saclay, PA. And then we'll spend the 2 days at, we will not be at the CEO's house. No, we will not be at Representative-elect Mr. Musa Belite's house. We will only go there to speak to the Honorable, but we will spend the 2 nights at Benita's son's guest house. That the same place Augustine Sai and I will go. Good morning to a friend and brother, Jeff Jefferson. Jeff's birthday is right around the corner. And the man is reminding me, but unfortunately, he's telling me, but my man, nothing happening. Why tell me about your birthday and say, my man, nothing happening? Jeff, something must happen. Something must happen. Something must happen, Jeff. Something must happen. Yeah, so let's see if we can take this piece from Burna Boy. He called this one Kilometer. The whole thing about me and music. Music and art. Let me see what it will sound like. No, this one. So any DJ who knows the wording in this music, please alert me quickly, because I'm just selecting. I wanted to become a DJ, but I didn't find my DJ name among all the names. Oh yes, Kilometer is a hit by Burna Boy. O'Neil will refuse to conduct workshop for me. The last time I wrote him officially to conduct a 3-day workshop for me to become one of the best DJs in the country, but O'Neil will not do that. I don't know why. And this one is called Last Last. This one is called Last Last by the same Burna Boy. Am I seeing a proxy? Am I seeing a proxy? Oh, I'm seeing two persons there. Hey, Last Last by the band Burna Boy. And Suseli want to challenge me. There is no official turning over ceremony. Signed and sealed. After, please make the people big. Let me see them. Yeah, so I'm seeing a team from the office of the representative elect here in studio. Smolu David, is that the person I'm seeing? I don't want to give me a position. I'm not going to be the chief of office staff. I only see him. He's here in place of the representative elect along with another team member. So let me just cross over to them this morning. We expected to actually have their bus this morning according to the line that we gave, but they will tell us why. Well, Mr. David, good morning. It's great to have you guys this morning.
Yeah, good morning, Marka. I'm happy to be here, even though I'm not strange in this building. So we are happy, and we come from the district number 3, Motorado, specifically from the offices of Honorable Smokoli Moba, representative elect. And I'm here this morning with my colleague, that's Sabo. He's a member of the team, and we've come to discuss, series of issues relating to the district, the decision made by our leader in this runner election.
Well, that is good. It's great to have you guys this morning. I think this is my first interview with you after the elections, though we've met on several occasions. Tell us, what is the feedback? What is it like? How do you feel now? Are you having a new kind of feeling? What is it like?
In terms of what? In terms of what? You have to be specific.
Well, you were going for a race, and it was tense, the stress, and all of that, and now you emerged victorious.
You see, Marka, the thing is that during the electoral processes, we told you, my boss told you, Honorable Molva, and I here also told you the same thing, that we were going to win the election, despite the big in the district, lack of the
Chipomoya, Kofi June, the equivalent, then even he stayed the equivalent, Bashir, no big names, but yet and stay. We kept telling you, for us, we will not find the big names. We are going to the process to win it. We are not participants. We are going there because we saw the light. And one of the may or to win the election is the issue of consistency. We have been consistent since 2017 when Honorable Smoke Mobile lost the election on the same ALP ticket. We remained in the district and we kept working. So we saw the green light.
Okay.
So right now, I tell anyone I'm feeling good. And in fact, every time I go to bed, when I wake up sound, and we are just waiting for January.
Yeah, you're just waiting to enter the Capitol building. But let me hear from your colleague. Good morning, brother. Okay, let's hear from you. How is the district? How are you?
It was okay. I'm good, and we are all excited, for the victory. And we are waiting on the 29th for, the district celebration.
On the 29th. Okay, that's great. So, after the results are announced by the National Elections Commission declaring your boss as the winner for District 3, what next? What are you doing? What have you been doing? And what is on the table now?
Right now, Marka, what we do, we still have the run-up. That is why, it is key. We cannot just work alone. Like we said, by the 29th of this month, November 29th, that will be a celebration, the district celebration, telling the people thank you for electing us. And it will be a very, very big program. So, like I speak to you right now, Marka, we have purchased like 2 cows just for this celebration. But we are still waiting for the run-up. This run-up, we have a stake in it.
Okay.
Right, we have a stake in it, and this is why if you follow my boss yesterday and sometime day before yesterday on state radio, he made a position statement. He took a side, despite our party ALP endorsing the CDC. He needed firstly to consult his constituents, right? He needed to go back to the constituent and tell people this is a decision that my party has taken, but I still need to come back to you. And you saw that, he after several consultation meeting with community leaders, a team member, and when he went on EFPC, he was able to reaffirm the decision taken by the ALP on the 29th of October.
Okay.
So right now, we can safely say that we support the re-election bid of President George M. Weah.
Okay. So, Representative-elect Sumo Moba, in line with his party leaders, is supporting the re-election of President George Weah.
Yeah, for us, Mark, we are party discipline. When the ALP took the decision, even though, let me say this clearly, and I say without fear of favor, the decision taken on the 29th of October, we were now fully involved. But because we believe in party discipline, we went there, we attended the program. I was there, the rep was there, the other team members were there. But yet and still, when we left from that program, we went back to the district because it went viral all on the social media, all over news outlet, and they say, "Oh, Honorable Sumo Moba has endorsed, the re-election bid of President Weah." We went to the district, we explained to them we needed to be there. We are party discipline, but yet then we are coming to you to ask you, what do you think? What is your will? And majority member to us, you believe in development. The president believes in development. So say you are going that path, we will follow you as well. So yesterday you saw the team. We had Kofi Jones, we had Abednego, we have Mandese Yoda, we have Chipomoya, and several other candidates that have contested the election on October 10th. We saw them together yesterday. Every one of them reaffirming, right, the decision that they took and telling the people of the district that indeed we have decided as a district to support the re-election.
So before we can talk details about the re-election bid of President Weah, let's look at the upcoming event that you call the thank you ceremony. What are all in that program?
Okay, yeah, well, Marka, that day would just be a happy day for the district, right? There'll be soccer, there'll be several other things that we put together, and it is also a path to reconciliation. Because even those that are contested and lost the election, some of their members, we are calling every one of them together. You see, if you look at our platform, we have a platform that it has an acronym called RESET, right? That is reunification, economic empowerment, security, education, and truth infrastructure. So the first letter in the acronym, one of the pillars there, that is the R, the reunification. We are starting now. We are not waiting to get inaugurated before we start bringing our people together. So the November 29 program is a means of bringing our people together, telling them thank you, and also telling them that we have to work together. If we must see we must see the success of the district, we have to work together. So that program, what we're going to be doing, you will have people from the camp of Kofi Joe, camp of Patrick Moya. We will have soccer matches. And the camp of Honorable Smokoli Mumba, we have a soccer team coming from there, and we will all be, on the TMA fee. We will celebrate. We have a very good time on that day. And thankfully, November 29 is a holiday, so almost everybody will be there.
Which part of the district are you going to host that event?
Right to TMF, right around our Patrick Comia's office.
Okay, around the Dr. Henry Reeves School.
So there, we are right at Dr. Henry Reeves. And we have extend invitation to every other person, part of the candidates. And this is what Honorable Smokoli Mobile has been doing over the years. This is a man who does not discriminate. Even though doing the campaign, we heard several other things, but those things are us. We said something as well. But right now, we are not going back to the campaign. We are telling the people, elections in District Number 3 are over. It is about time that we come together and work in the interest of the district.
Okay, that sounds great. So let's look at after endorsing the re-election bid of President George Weah, what do we expect from Team MOBA going into the campaign? We have 5 days to the runoff.
You see, when it comes to Team MOBA, our ballot size may not be big, but we are strategists. So the same method we apply for Honorable Smokoli MOBA to have won the district overwhelmingly, it is the same method we are applying now. So we may be little in ballot size, but when it comes to planning and executing, we know it best. So as I say to you right now, Team MOBA and other team, other candidates that contested in the district, we are working together. Right now, in the field, go to the district. Team MOBA, the team, right now, they are in the field, talking to people door to door. And there are several other strategies that we have, we have. I will not, say that, on air. But we are in the field working to ensure that the president gets re-elected. Marka, all may not be roses. All may not be good for the last 6 years. But there are several other games that this president has made. And we cannot play this with it. We know the issue, our health sector is still challenged, but there are some, significant progress that have been made. The educational area, there are significant progress that have been made. So if this president, just in 6 years, can be able to touch almost all of the sectors, right? It means
you call 6 years just
6 years, because
6 years, half of 12 years, and you call it just?
Yeah, 6 years, but there were people who had 12 years. The success is the gain of this president in 6 years. If you want to take it on a racial level, surpasses the gain of the 12 years. And I can go ahead and name them one at a time, right? I can go ahead and name them one at a time. Let's look at road connectivity. I live somewhere around the Puebla, going towards Johnsonville. That place, during the 12 years, those are coming now saying President Weah will be a one-term president. They were there 12 years, but they never knew that human being was living in Johnsonville.
At least they did a pipeline to Nizo Road going to the Japan Freeway. They did that part
in 12 years.
No, I'm just naming that. I'm just naming that side because that's the side you talk about.
What I'm saying. if they can just do the road from Puebla supermarket to come right down the police station in 12 years.
Yes.
Yeah? Less than 2 kilometers in 12 years. But this president took
I don't understand
right?
the judgment you are
The
making,
road
though.
has gone to Mount Barkley. The road has gone towards White Plain. The road from Dry Rest Market coming to Johnsonville. And that's not just all. We are enjoying electricity. But yes, we did not see those things.
Do you want to discredit the past administration for the electricity that you are distributing?
Tried. The past administration tried. But we expected more.
So let's look at your decision to endorse the re-election bid of President George Weah. Was it based on your own analysis of the current day realities, your office, or it was based on party loyalty? Since our party say we should go, so we are going there, even though as per our analysis, this is not the best for this time for Liberia.
Marka, I'm one person who cannot be pulled by the nose. Went to school, I'm educated, I know how to make decisions. Right? And I will not, like I said, I will not play blind eye to the reality. We know that there is still suffering. Even the 12 years that the Union Party were in power, people still suffer. People still suffering. The issue, because what you hear now, all over, you hear, coach. During the 12 years, people were still taking jobs. It was aligning. There was no mechanism put in place the last 12 years to fight jobs. But this president has put a mechanism in place, this government. Let's look at the jobs law, right? And this is one of the laws that is very much good. In order to fight jobs, there must be something, there must be two friends. Honorable Member has said the jobs law is good, but there are some amendments that we need to, that need to be made. And he has already crafted that. By the time we get to the House, the 55th National Legislature, it will be a bomb. The amendment will be it is good. So if you must fight drugs, you must first start with something. And this is what the president has done. Right? The issue of corruption, these are things that people cry as the corruption in their government. But we sat down here when John Molu, who now support the Union Party again, he said that corruption in early government, was 3 times corrupt. Early government was 3 times corrupt than the Junior Bryan government. We saw the number of cases on the docket, right? Corrupt cases. But now they are saying the government is corrupt. But here's what the government has done to fight corruption. Let's look at the different anti-graft, especially LACC. LACC used to be a triple bulldog, but today LACC now has the prosecutorial power. A president who has the political will muster the courage to take such a decision. Others will be afraid and say, if I empower such entity, they could come after me. The president is not thinking about that. So because of those things, coupled with the numerous development in the educational sector, rural rehab, connectivity, the issue of health, based on those things, within 6 years, we said no. I think President Weah needs additional 6 years to continue on this.
So since you took,
so those are things that inform our position to go the route.
What have been the reaction from your constituents, your supporters directly, for example?
My colleague will come in shortly. If we just photograph, I have videos.
Your supporters happy with the decision?
The district was upside down
for the decision.
For the decision, I have photos, I have videos. I will share with you, as I've always done. The district was upside down yesterday. That alone tells you that the people believe in their leader, Honorable Smokoli Mova Rebilete. They believe in him, so the path he's going, they believe that it is the right path that he took, and which is why they came out yesterday in their mass to answer yes to the re-election bid of the president.
Okay, your colleague wanted to make some points. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to speak on the decision made by the honorable. First of all, we talk to members of our district. The pillar for which that we voted, the Honorable Smokey Moba, it's not on any party line, and the district understands clearly. It was on the basis of his deliverables and tangibles that was saying in the best interest of the district. So the decision we believe that the move made to CDC was timely, was prudent enough, all for the benefit of the district. And we can see, like we talk about development, the CDC, government decided to, pause in whatever development will bring, to our district. And I think it is good for everybody because development, does not, belong to a one, group of people. So what it happens when it gets in the district, any form of development when it gets in the district, it is for everybody. So I think we have the decision made by the honorable man is all in the best interest of the district, and we are fighting for everybody. So just to speak on the decision made, and we see it as a district, to be good enough for our own benefit.
Well, it's good enough for your own benefits. That is your word from the office of the rep-elect, like Smolu would say. But again, I'm continuing to ask the question. You have made a decision. How do you intend to make the impact? Are you going to be on the campaign trail? Are you campaigning already?
Marka, I just told you that the team is already out. And they are not just sitting in the vehicle. They are walking. They are going from door to door, community to community. Our district is very small. We just have 11 communities with 52 blocks. During the campaign, I took 1 day to cover the entire district. The campaign to elect on I took 1 day to cover the entire district. Just 1 day. So our team, and this is the interesting part about it. Team Sumo is a conglomeration of people from different political parties. We have people from, he comes from the ALP, so we have people from the ALP, we have people from the CDC, people from the Unity Party, people from the MPC, just the LPP, Party. We have influx of the partisan coming to us. So, Honorable Marka, we came to you, we all came together, we elected you, the lawmaker of our district. Now you have chosen the path of President Weir. We still stand by it, we still stand with you, and we will make sure we campaign. They are doing it sincerely. Somebody will say when young people get money, when they are being financially induced, their mouth will be sharp, they will get on the radio, on the social media, and let me just tell you something. I sitting here, someone have not received a dime. We have not received a dime to do this. We are doing it based on our own conviction, based on what we have seen for the last 6 years. And let me say this: the presidency of Liberia needs an energetic person, somebody who can do that, somebody who is capable of moving around. Our presidency, Marka, is not an old folks' home, right? We need somebody that will get there and do the job. And President,
and some Liberians say they want experience as well. So
experience, we have all of the experience, right? 12 years. Let's look at Lofa County. For Christ's sake, I come from Lofa County. I'm a lumber man. I'm from Feasible Town, Zosa District. But I never used to go back home because of the road condition. Since I left from Lofa County 2011, I have not gone back. Right? Because of the road.
All the other people can go home. Why you can't go home?
I just say we work here, but I talk to my people back home all of the time. Well, here is it: 12 years. You cannot use the wisdom, the experience to tell the president that there's a need that we do the road to Lofa, because Lofa is a country that is very important to Liberia. 12 years, you could not use that experience. Unlike this government, sons and daughters of Lofa have to come together and say, there's a time now we make our country to be like other countries. Let the country be accessed. The life of Fala, the life of Koji. And they just name them. Look at the transformation that is currently taking place in Lofa. It never happened for the last decades and decades. It never wants to happen. But today, you go to Fuya, you see transformation. You go to Vonjama, transformation. Zozo, transformation. As I speak to you, electricity, there are plenty more. Right? There are plenty people. No factors
So these were the factors considered in pledging your support to the re-election of President Weah. Is that what you are saying?
Yeah, this just I just told you there are several reasons. Several reasons. Let's just look at the scorecard, the MCC scorecard, right? You see the progress that we have made. You saw the different indicators that Liberia passed. Let's look at the fight against corruption. Let's look at freedom of speech and freedom of the press. Today, people get on radio, go on social media, and say anything, anyhow. No one is running after them. Did you see that happening in the last 12 years? You know how many radio stations were shut down? You know how many journalists were arrested because of what they said? But today, people can be free to talk. People stand in the street.
So other people who have contrary views to yours will say, well, for the last 6 years, the livelihood of the Liberian people have been difficult. They have talked about economic constraints facing the country. They have talked about poor healthcare delivery system, the educational system. They have complained about lack of facility at public schools, even in the hinterlands and other places. These are things that they are saying.
Marka, like I said, there are still challenges, but significant progress has been made in those sectors that you just talked about, right? We know 12 years people still suffer. Let's look at the poverty, the index report. The last 12 years, Liberian things were falling down on the ground. The people are picking money on the ground. No, Liberia was still one of the poorest countries in the last 12 years.
The government you're supporting the re-election of harmonized the civil servant salaries and take away their purchasing power.
Civil servant, not all civil servant. You know, the harmonization policy is one of the policies that help this government to succeed.
In terms of giving job to more citizens.
Here is it, right? If you look at the payroll, and thankfully, some of us we were hustling somewhere, before the harmonization during the early regime. There were
you were working or you were hustling?
We were hustling somewhere.
So you don't want to admit that you were working in the early administration?
Take it as it is, right?
No, I won't take it as it is, because if you just be
jobbing, right? We were working
in the early administration.
We were working and we are still working, right?
Okay.
Now, there are some sectors that you will see a high school graduate making $500 US, and then you see in government, you go to a place, you see a university graduate making $250, right? So what this government did to have a holistic in salary, said, okay, if this man has a bachelor degree, this is the amount the person should make. Let you cut across. You cannot be a high school graduate making bachelor degree. It even happened in the educational sector. So the harmonization policy, it was good. It helped government to cut waste and also helped government to fund other projects, because the money was entering the wrong people here. Who are those that are complaining? Are that the same people that are saying President Weah should be a one-term president? But the harmonization helped the government a lot. Today, when you talk about where the money is coming from, some of the money after the harmonization helping to pay WAS fee, right? The harmonization helped. When Omio left, you have 2,000 plus health workers. They were now on the payroll. And Omio were helping the government a lot. They were contributing to the budget. Those 2,000 health workers that were not on government payroll, the harmonization helped, and they were able to be placed on government.
Smolo, let me see. It's your boss want to make an import. Let me see. Who's this other person? Yeah, your boss want to make an import. Let me see if I can get him on. Is there any rumors in the corridors of your office that your boss is anticipating contesting for any position when he should have taken his seat at the legislature?
My boss is one young man who is ambitious, positively now, to use to get run after power. He's one man who will not just get limited. He has an ambition. He told you he will contest for the Senate.
Okay. Please. Let me see, please. Good morning.
district number 3.
Good morning. Please let someone lower your receiver, please, the volume.
Yeah, I'm far from my receiver now. I think am I clear now? Please?
Yeah, you are clear though. We were expecting you, but we saw the team here. However, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. And in the district, it's all a campaign. It's a runoff. We have to do our work. And I have a minute.
But you've campaigned and won already. Why are you placing another burden on your shoulders?
I think it's not a burden. In order to be successful as it relates to good governance, you need someone from the executive branch that have similar attributes and things like you. So I think that I need to come out and take a side in this election so that our people can know what they are going for and who they are going for. Yeah.
There were rumors initially after the results of the first round was announced that you had decided initially to remain neutral and just work with whoever that will win the runoff. Now you've declared support for the incumbent George Weah, his re-election bid. What led to your decision?
No, I think if you can follow from day one, because usually I'm with you guys through heaven, we make it clear. We had both consultation with the two groups, Unity Party and CDC. And I think I'm people driven. For me, it's not about whatever people look at. It's not about the money, right? This part being party driven, party discipline, we have one or two issues. They're all like your party as it relates to the endorsement. But yet, during that time, we go through our evaluation. And through our evaluation, we came up with our results. And our thing is, we have requirements for our district. Those requirements, we put forth one, we need a land that we can start building our district college. And we were serious about that. We also told the two political parties, if whosoever wins, we need a space as it relates to the low-level position for 5 persons who is competent and qualified in our district, young people. So from all ends, we got green light from CDC. So it tells me that CDC is the party of maybe the leaders. Senator is one that people oriented. So I told you why. When you seek my people interest, then I seek your interest for the position. So this is the reason I'm with CDC now, because they deliver.
So what are you doing this morning? I understand you on some tour in the district.
Yeah, the district is not nobody's district. The district is no one own district number 3. We have smart people. We have people who think beyond party lines. And our thing is we have our mothers now who are prepared. And with them, we are getting the district on house to house to convince our people to see logic, to see right in that. Because if somebody come and tell you, say, I can help you to wash your bike, we will all look for land. And today we have land. That's the assurance there. We have land. They have built on a land space. We never about the want of getting money. It was not about money. It's about people because we are people driven. So we receive the land, and I can show you sooner or later by January when we take office, we start to build our district college.
Okay, you start. That is great. Finally, before I take leave of you, there's rumors that you are anticipating the run for deputy speaker. Is that true?
My brother Marka, rest assured, I'm a young person. I think I'm qualified for the deputy speakership, and we have 2 months to go. And I will do our own discussion outside there and see how best we fit in. If I'm the one qualified, I will take the post. I will run. Yeah, for sure.
You will run for deputy speaker?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Rest assured on that.
Okay, thank you for joining us on the show this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Marka. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Smolu David, we have 5 minutes left on the show. Less than that, of course. So let's use that time to conclude on the show.
Oh yeah. Finally, we just want to say to our district people, be relaxed. Every decision made by the Honorable Smokey Mobile and this joining to CDC is in the best interest of the district, and we are serious, in developing at the district. For like the past 6 years, you know, the representative did not, you know, well, the equipment right now, he did not do well. And there's a reason why he was voted out. And now, there's our term under Smoking Mobile. We can promise the district we would do well and will be re-elected after 6 years.
Okay, Marka, well, let me say thank you to the people of Electoral District Number 3 for accepting the decision taken by their next representative. You know, the decision, it was hard to take. We tussle, but at the end of the day, you found reason to go the route of President George M. Weah. So I'm calling on everyone under the sign of my voice this morning. When you go to vote on November 14th, two on the ballot is President George M. Weah. We are voting him for peace. Since all the left, President Weah has ensured that the peace of Liberia is tightened. It is temporary. He's tolerant. He's now one of the presidents who will go after you. He has allowed you to voice out everything that you have on your mind, and no one has come to your door chasing after you. This is the kind of Liberia that we need, where the peace of our country cannot be tampered with. So as we go to vote on November 14th, I repeat, the 3 men, let me talk it in the library, in the 3 men with the woman side there. Rest side the woman, that empty space that there, the rest side that woman, you will go mark your vote. Either you use your tongue or you get mark X or you just rest side the woman. So again, I want to say, Marka, thank you for the time. I prepared. Right now, when we leave from studio, like you can see me, I'm prepared. I'm in my regalia. I'm going to join Honorable Mova. We will do our door-to-door to ensure that President Weah continue on the path of development. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So we have had a team here from the Office of the Representative Elect in District Number 3, Montserrat County, Smoky Morba. The team headed by Small David here on the TBS this morning on Truth 96.1 FM. We are taking our regular weekend break. We will be here next Monday. Tomorrow, Augustine Sa and Coris Kanga will be here to end the week's presentation of the TBS here on Truth 96.1 FM. Thanks to all of you who follow us live on Real TV/Truth FM, as well as via radio. Thanks ever so much to our listeners across the country. Arthur Bola has been behind the cameras, carrying us live. And thanks to all of you, O'Neill Roberts and Marka Davis. Do have yourself a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.